Hi, welcome to Walking in Love. I'm Melissa Whitkey. Thanks for joining me today. This is episode 67, and the title of this message is The Promise I Made to Myself About Aging. You know, it's funny, I'm finding myself about to turn 57. I don't even know where the years have gone. But to be honest with you, age is not a focus area in my life. It's not something that I really ever give much thought to. Although there's people around me who remind me often about what's possible at my age. And I'm here to tell you I'm going to shatter every one of those stereotypes. That's my goal anyway. But to do that, I wanted to share with you a promise that I made to myself. I'm hoping to age with grace. I'm hoping to accept the changes in my physical body and just continue. I know my body's going to change. I know my face is already changing. It's changed so much already. But I have the option of how to receive that. I made myself a really important promise many years ago that I've lived up to. And it's this. I want to share it with you because I think it's really important. Because I know so many women look at themselves and don't like what they see. So the promise I made to myself is that I would never let anything I see in the mirror stop me from doing anything I want to do in life. Now, why is that important? Again, there's so many women who tell me they don't like the way they look, or they look at themselves and they say, I'm ugly, or, I've got all these wrinkles and I'm aging. Yes, that's part of life. And we can do lots of things. You can have facelifts, you can do Botox, you can do creams and potions and ointments and whatever. There's so many things that we can do. Facelifts, like all of that. And all of that's fine. But at some point, we're going to have to accept that our face, our body, we change. But there's nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing wrong with change. There's nothing wrong with aging. There's nothing wrong with wrinkles. I've earned every one of these. There's nothing wrong with the natural progression of a human body. Why have we made that so taboo? Like women with, aging faces especially are something that that should be avoided at all costs. I don't buy into that, not for 1 second. And I hope you don't either. But the importance of making that promise to myself is that it's easy to sometimes look in the mirror and say, I don't like the way I look. My muscles are not as strong as they used to be, even though I work out every single day, by the way. My face has changed significantly, but I won't let that stop me. Every morning when I look at myself in the mirror, I've decided I'm going to find something to love. And you know what? I have, and I do. Because this is actually a time in my life where I'm so much more authentic. I really like who I am. I'm becoming the person who God made me to be. And you know what? I love that person. Not in an arrogant way, but in a self-accepting, beautiful way. Why is it beautiful? It's beautiful because God had a plan for my life. And it's been a wonderful, beautiful, perfect plan for me. And I have not embraced that for the majority of my life. I'm only really now knowing who I am, and I'm embracing that person. And that's beautiful. And once you do it, I can share with you that there's how you look in the mirror or how other people see your physical manifestation, whatever you look like, doesn't matter quite as much as it used to when you were younger. Because you realize that you're perfect as God intended you to be. I know you've heard me say that before, but I want to share it with you now, especially in terms of aging. Because we're all going to do that, God willing. Right? If you are blessed with a long life, you are going to have to confront aging and what it means to you. Now, to me, I don't really focus on aging. I talk about often how people will say to me things like, wow, you don't look your age. And in my mind, I start thinking, okay, well, what does 57 now? What is it supposed to look like? Does 57, is there a book out there that everyone has but me that shows what people look like at certain ages? Because I guess I don't look like that. It's kind of silly when you think about it that way, but that's almost how we act. We say these things. It's like, people with who are so focused on retirement. A lot of people my age are focused on retirement. That's another thing that I'm going to do in my life that I believe is going to help me live fully and excited and passionately every year of my life. I am never going to retire. I tell you this now. Doesn't mean I'm not going to leave jobs or certain types of work, but I will always have some sort of meaningful work, God willing, to do, to share, to encourage, to write, to speak. Whatever God gives me to do, I hope to be able to do it. So in my mind, my thinking, I'm not focused on retirement. I don't even know what that concept is. I don't know where it came from. I never found it in the Bible. I don't know if you have, but I don't see it. I believe we're supposed to work every day of our lives. Meaningful work is what keeps us alive and passionate about life. If you don't have something you're working towards, what are you doing? I mean, you can only play so much golf, swim so much, go to the beach, read so many books. I don't know about you. I need work. Maybe that's me. Maybe that's my type A personality coming to life. But I believe it's a part of me that's going to help me embrace aging. Because if I can do something fruitful at every age of my life, which is what I'm here to do, and by the way, so are you, I'm not going to be focused on how I look. That's how this works. Once you start embracing what you're here for, your path, your passion, your excitement, your dreams, bringing them into reality, you focus so much less on how you look. And that's part of it. We have to, I want to age gracefully. I've said that so often, is I really do. I want to embrace whatever, I want to look and feel and be my best, but I'm going to change, and that's okay. And I want people to know that that's okay. And I don't plan on having a facelift or using Botox or any of that. I've never done it before. But that's because I want to focus on my inner person. When you're in your 20s and 30s and 40s, a lot of focus on how we look. And yes, of course, I want to look my best. I do work out and stay strong because I like the way I take care of myself and honor my physical body. But there's so much more to me, and I want people to see the inside of me more than the outside. And this is the time really where people stop, I guess, looking at us because as we age, and they, have the opportunity to see what more there is to us. That's where someone is special. I wrote a children's story. My first children's book that I wrote, it's called Mommy Am I Different? And the main line in the book is, our eyes tell one story, our hearts yet another. It's when we look past what we see with our physical eyes that we see the greatness in each person before us. And that's what I want you to do for yourself. I want, as we age, we have that opportunity to look past the physical signs of aging and not to worry about them and not to stress over them and focus on how to get rid of every line, every, I do this too. I hold my face in the mirror and I say, what can I do to make myself look better? But it's not my focus area. I really, I see myself, I embrace myself, I love myself, and then I go and I do good in the world. That's what I want you to do too. That's my secret in aging. I'll tell you where that promise I made to myself came from. It came from my mom not doing things that she loved as she got older because she didn't like the way she looked. And it made me so sad. My mom loved the beach and she loved swimming. There's nothing that she loved more than being in the ocean and feeling that on her, or feeling the sun on her skin. But as she got older, she really didn't like the way she looked. And so she stopped going to the beach. We could not get her to go into a pool to the beach because she was embarrassed of the way she looked. She said she was flabby. And you know what? I made myself a promise that I would never do that. I'd never miss out on going somewhere with my kids or doing something because I don't like the way my body looks, or I don't like the way my face looks or my hair looks or whatever it is. We always have the opportunity to think negative thoughts about ourselves and use those negative thoughts in a way that stop us from moving forward in life. And I promise you, and as I promised myself, I won't do that. And I hope you won't either. I want to change the ideas about aging. I want people to start receiving aging in a positive way. Why shouldn't we? If we look at it for what it really is, another year, another day, another month, that's a gift. Every day that I'm here is a gift from God. Every day that I'm here, I'm given time to use productively or not. I can use that time to love myself, to love other people around me, to give, to be, to do, to stretch, to grow, to fly, or I can use it to feel badly about myself. And I'm telling you, I'm not going to do that. Do I have times where I lick my wounds and I feel bad? I told you on my last episode, I've been going through a lot of hard things in my life. But that's okay. We all go through those periods of time. But what matters is what we do when we encounter those road bumps of life, right? What do you do? How do you view the problems you have in your life? How do you view aging? How do you view, pretty much everything we encounter on a daily basis? That's the challenge of aging. That's the challenge of walking through life. If you don't learn to use everything you have, you're not going to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish in life. You're not going to have the impact you're meant to have. And that would be sad. I think so many people die with their music still in them. They never figured it out. They let the pressures of the world and the expectations of people who don't even know anything about you weigh so heavily that it stops them in their tracks. Don't let aging, don't let what you see in the mirror be another one of those excuses not to do what you're here to do. God told me recently, I have my moments too. Again, I'm doing all of these big things, new products, new platform, trying to get new consulting work. I'm doing all of these new things. I don't know if any of them are going to be successful, but I'm going to try. And I was praying to God, and I said, God, do I need to go back to school? Do I need to learn new things? And you know what God filled my heart with? Start with where you are. Start with what you have. His message to me was just start. I've given you everything you need, Melissa, to be successful in the area I want you to be successful in. You have to just start. And that's what I'm encouraging you to do. Don't let things such as how you look in the mirror stop you. Don't let age be a factor in determining your success in any area of your life you choose to be successful in. Don't let your age stop you from walking on the path that God destined you to walk on. Age can be just another excuse we use to not fulfill the dreams of our heart. God gives us the desires in our heart. Did you know that? That's what the Bible says. He doesn't give us what our heart desires. He gives us the actual desire itself. It's funny. I recently, after my daughter went away to college, now my husband and I people use the word empty nest. I haven't thought of a better way to describe that. I'm not so comfortable with the term empty nest. I'll be back to you on that because I'm going to think of something else. But we don't have any children living with us at home right now. So I had a choice. What am I going to do with this time? How am I going to use this time? And then all of a sudden, God gave me new desires in my heart. And I really believe he's saying, okay, Melissa, you've raised your children. They're doing great. I have them. He has them in the palm of his hand, by the way. I always pray every day for a hedge of protection around them. And they're doing great, and I could not be more proud of them. But he gave me new desires. He wants me to keep going. He wants me to do meaningful work. And you know what? I'm sure he wants you to as well. We're here to give, to grow, to stretch, to learn. The old adage, if you don't use it, you lose it, whether it's your physical body or whether it's your mind. It's so true. We have to always be green and growing. We have to stretch and strive and grow. And that's when we feel the best. Don't you feel the best when you've accomplished something you've worked really hard towards? I have to say, that's the time of my life that I feel the best. When I feel like I've worked really hard towards something, when there's been a lot of obstacles I've had to overcome and I've kept going anyway, that's when I feel the best. Isn't that how you feel as well? So we always have to deal with what's real about ourselves. One of the things I've been doing also is in my journal, I write what's real. I look at my life, I look at what's happening in the day that I'm writing, and I ask myself what's real. What's real around me? What do I see? What environment am I in? What's my situation? What is my thinking? What is my condition? Whether I'm, feeling healthy or strong or weak or sad or whatever. I write it all down. And then I can look at it almost, objectively as just a state that can be changed. So, sometimes realizing where we are and what's real allows us to see it in a new way. It almost gives us some distance from it. That's really been helping me on my path to kind of accept where I am. God said again, start where you are, start with what you have. Basically just start. Start walking towards your dreams. What do you want to do in your life? Again, I'm about to turn 57. I don't know how much time I have left. That's up to God. I have no idea. And I'm glad I don't have any idea, by the way. I'm hoping I'll live many, many more years as there's so much I want to do in my life. But I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep running at life. I'm going to keep encouraging people. I'm going to keep trying to figure out what I'm here for. What are all the gifts that I have to share with you and everyone else? And so I encourage you to use everything you have. Embrace every moment. Again, aging just means you're here for another day. That's a gift. See the miracle in that. That's not something to avoid. It's not something to be embarrassed of. It's not something to, shy away from. The chronological number that you are is nothing to be embarrassed about. That's something else that I don't understand. I'm going to be 57. I'm proud of that. That means I've lived almost 57 years. That's all it means. Don't assign meaning to it. That's what I want to stop people from doing. Don't assign meaning to something that you don't even know. Nobody's walked this path with me other than God. So he and I know what those 57 years have brought. And I've shared it with other people along the way too, but only he and I have been in it together consistently. right? Same with you, same with everyone else we meet and know in our lives. That's why we don't judge other people. We don't know a second of their life, really. Even if you spent time with people, you don't know their inner life. You don't know their dialogue with God. That's why we just need to love each other. Understand aging is a gift. I don't know why we don't see it that way. I'm hoping to encourage people so they can see it that way. Aging is a gift. Every second we're here is an opportunity to love more, to learn more, to grow, to share, to be. So I hope this message was encouraging with you. And I hope all of you who are starting to get to midlife or beyond, or at any point in your life where you're looking at yourself and not liking what you're seeing, I encourage you to look again, to see the light that's in your eyes, that's in your heart. Let it flow. Find something that you love about yourself. The more we love ourselves, the more free we are to share ourselves with the world. So I hope you will join me in loving every age that we're blessed to have. Enjoy this day, make it a blessed day, and I'll look forward to next time. Thanks for joining me.